And new this morning, the deadline to file your taxes is quickly approaching, and here in Oregon, the deadline is even sooner if you plan to file your taxes by mail.
That's right. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joining us now. All right, Thomas, so fill tax filers in on what they need to know.
Yeah, well, guys, if you plan to file your taxes through the mail, big news here. The deadline, according to the Oregon Department of Revenue, to do so is tomorrow. Now, I know what everybody's thinking. Tax day isn't until April 15th, so what's up with this week early deadline? Well, the Oregon Department of Revenue says that there's changes at the U.S. Postal Service, which means if you don't mail your tax filings by Thursday, they may not get there in time. The Oregon Department of Revenue says U.S. post offices, they don't stay open late anymore on tax day. And with just a week to go until the deadline to file, the state says hundreds of thousands of Oregonians still haven't filed those personal income taxes. The fastest way to get those taxes in is to file electronically. That's how most people do it these days. The Department of Revenue says 94% of Oregonians file electronically, but if you're one of those who likes to mail it in, state officials say you can return it to USPS until April 15th, but make sure there's an in-person request to have them postmark your filings at the counter if you do decide to wait that long. Now, look, guys, we gave you a little bit of bad news there. Let's give you a little bit of good news before we go. Many can expect a kicker this year. Some have already gotten that kicker in the mail. Some will also get that money back from the state maybe later this month. If you have questions about that kicker, whether you can expect to receive it, you can always go to the Oregon Department of Revenue website, type in your info, and get your answer right there.